This changed my right to stay, not my reason to. I wonder if I could explain this to my younger self who was obsessed with getting PR.
I finally got that golden email from the department. I'm a permanent resident of this country now. I called everyone, posted all over my social media as well. I'm so proud of me for how far I've come. I started on a student visa, juggling university with part time work, living in a shared accommodation with 7 other people, earning barely enough, yet somehow still managing to send some money back home. Every decision, which job to take, who to make friends with, was filtered through one question: will this help me get my PR? Because I knew that once I get my permanent residency, everything else will fall into place. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Zindagi ka maqsad pura hua.
I remember that feeling. When the goal is clear, everything is simple. But let me ask you, how long did this feeling last?
It lasted long enough. Don't do that. Don't sit here with hindsight and try to make this victory smaller than it really is. You know what it took for us to get here, right? The rejections, the uncertainty, nights where we couldn't sleep thinking that we've made a mistake coming here. And that moment when that email came, it was earned. Every second of it was earned.
You're right, it was earned. I'm not taking anything away from you. I'm just asking, what did you do after?
Well, I went back to work. I went on to the next item on the checklist. What was I supposed to do? Just stop?
No, but somewhere between going back to work and keep building on your checklist, did you stop and ask, what were you building towards? Something changed after PR. The feeling of aimlessness. You felt it. I know you felt it because I felt it.
Maybe that's what real life looks like. Not everything needs to be a revelation.
Maybe, or maybe the feeling was trying to tell you something that you weren't ready to listen to. Do you remember what you've been telling yourself about your health for the past 3 years?
I'll start the gym after PR.
It's been 6 months since your PR.
I was tired from all my long shifts. I just didn't have the energy. I was still settling in.
You know those gym shoes that you got? They're still in the box, waiting for you to open it.
That's not a crime, right? It's just life.
You're right. That's just one deferred thing. That's life. It happens. Now tell me about your relationships.
Well, what do you mean? I showed up. I was there. I was present. I provided.
You were physically there, yes, but were you actually present?
What does that even mean?
It means did the person you were with feel like they had you fully, or they were in a relationship with a version of you that was always half somewhere else? And what about who you are? What you actually want from this life? When did you plan to look at that?
After PR.
Well,
Well, now I'm chasing after a deposit for my house.
that's great, but when will you get a time to look at that?
After, I don't know, when things settle down.
You should know that by now, that things never settle.
You know what I think? I think you have the luxury to ask these questions because I did all the hard work to make space for them. I did not have the option for self discovery. I had a visa with an expiry date and a family who sacrificed everything for me to be here. And all these people who are out there who are living their dream and following their passion had safety nets which I never had. They either had families with money or passports that just opened doors for them. So don't come here with philosophy now. I was surviving, and survival required everything and exactly what I gave it.
That is true, every word of it. But now that your PR has arrived, the visa expiry date has disappeared, the family has stabilized, the safety net has appeared. But your deferral, why is it still continuing? It is purely out of habit. The circumstances have changed, but your mindset hasn't. You're still working multiple jobs, not because you need to pay the uni fees or your visa fees, just because that's what you're used to and that's what you've done so far. And that's what you see people around you doing. The only thing that I want you to look at is that habit of survival that has left behind when it is no longer needed.
So I kept working hard, working towards the next thing, which for me is the house now. I'm thinking about marriage, and I want to leave something for my future generation. Are you going to tell me that's wrong too?
I'm not going to tell you that it's wrong. I'm just going to ask you a question and I want you to think about it before you answer. Is this the life you're choosing or the next item on a list that you inherited? before you were old enough to question it.
What's wrong with the list? The list works. It got us here.
The list got us to safety. That's not the same as getting us to growth and meaning in life.
Not everyone needs meaning in life. They just need to live a good life.
Good. Then tell me what a good life looks like to you in your own words, not in your parents or society's, just yours.
Just didn't want to let anyone down. My parents worked so hard for me to get here. The society had its own expectations. I was terrified to be the kid who got this amazing opportunity to be overseas and wasted it and had nothing to show for it. So I followed a set path because I was too afraid of what might happen if I just changed my course.
And that sinking fear has costed us our zest for life. We've become too afraid to try anything new. So I'm asking us from now on, what do we do differently from the knowledge that we have?
So what do I actually do with this?
Finally, that's the right question. Let's do two exercises this week. Not someday, this week. Exercise 1, the deferred list. Write down three things on your after bucket. Could it be your health, a creative thing that you stopped, a version of work that actually excites you, a conversation that you've been avoiding for years? Then ask yourself, what would 10% of this look like starting now? Not perfect conditions, not the full commitment, just 10%. See, the habit of deferring doesn't break with big decisions, it breaks with small, deliberate ones. Exercise 2, the default life. Take a piece of paper and write down exactly what your life would be if you change nothing in it. Same jobs, same habits, same deferred list, same checklist running on autopilot. Write what actually happens if you stay exactly where you are and let the momentum decide where the life takes you. Then ask yourself one question. Is that the life that you choose, or is that the life that happened to you? Because if you don't consciously choose your life, something else will choose it for you.
What if I don't know what to do instead?
That honest uncertainty is exactly where life begins.
I did the best I could with what I had.
I know. And what you built gave me the ground to stand on. I wouldn't be asking these questions if it wasn't for you.
So we're not fighting?
No, we were not fighting. I was just asking you to look at something that you were not ready to look at yet. We came here in this country for a better life, not just better lifestyle. The government gave your life permanence. It is up to us to give it meaning. The geography was the first move. The psychological independence is the second. Think about it tonight. Write down about your life if nothing changes for 10 years. And then ask, is that the life that you want? This is Shubham Rai. This is Think Again. I'll see you in the next episode.